Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another AFR broadcast. Today we come to you live from Yas Marina here in Abu Dhabi. It is round 21, which means it is the grand finale of the AFR Season 3. As usual, I am Kuno Zero, and with me is C Carrot. Alright, so of course, this the title was decided a couple of rounds ago. Revo did take that with force, so he is the World Drivers' Championship, but that does not mean we can't have a last hurrah as we send off our Season 3 here in Abu Dhabi. So let's see, we've got 13 drivers on the grid today. Hopefully we'll be in for some good racing. We'll see as it all pans out. Okay, so 16 minutes 42 on the clock will start. Hopefully people will start getting out. What are your predictions for this race, Sikara? Alright, just give me a second. So let me check something, because apparently nobody can hear you, as is usual. Okay, let me try now. Right.
Evening all.
There we go. God freaking damn it.
Oh, well, at least I caught it in the first minute.
I promise to you guys that in Season 4, we will have this down pat. We will get this done. Okay, so, if you could please repeat.
Oh, yeah, well, anyway, what I was saying in a nice inane fashion was, I just think there'll be some risk tonight. A lot of guys with nothing to lose, wanting a season best result. Might be some cheeky dive bombs as they push the limits. I'm hoping for a bit of a shake-up at the top. You never know.
No, that'll be good. I'm hoping, like, obviously, you know, Revo is strong and we expect him to perform as he usually does. But I'm hoping that, yeah, being the last race, people just go for those absolutely whack attempts. I really do. Seb did message me earlier today saying that he'll probably start from the back of the grid. I don't know why, but he mentioned that if he retires early, it's because things aren't really going his way at the moment. So no worries, I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I am hoping we see a really stellar performance from everyone here. Let's just have one big, awesome last race. As of course we are on board with Gus Rules going around on his first flying lap. Gus Rules showing quite a decent performance in a lot of these past races. He's definitely been improving a lot throughout the season.
Well, I mean, this season is the first season without a banned victory for one so far. So he'll be keen to right that ship, of course. He wants to break the season virginity, so to speak. And there's been a few touched on the wood. Gus has certainly won. He's a number of podiums, but not quite been able to take the next leap. So,
all right, so he will be the first car to come across with a 1:34.9. He'll set that on the soft tyre. Let's jump on board here with Matzoid in the Red Bull Racing. Let's see, so he's coming around. Looks like Sector 2 now. Got a Sector 2 yellow flag. Greeny's just come across the line. He's got a 1:35.7. That'll put him in second. Flyboy comes across with a 1:36.1. Alright, so Jacob, no Alpha tonight. That's correct. Nobody from the Alpha team is here. Who is the Alpha team in Tier 1? It's
Alpha.
I've drawn a blank. Saxa, that's right. Saxa and Bull and Rocky. That's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Jacob's put it in the chat. Thanks, mate.
I was thinking of Jacob, but then
Jacob's here too. That's right. Okay, so while we're talking, Lotus has come across there in the Toro Rosso with a 1:37.2. Matzoid will come across with a 1:37.6. However, it will not register, so it looks like he did invalidate somewhere along the lap. So he'll be out for another one. We'll stay on board with him and see if he can improve here at Yas Marina. So let's talk about the track a little bit. Arguably, not one of the most exciting tracks. The idea in the F1 community is that it should be changed to not be a finale race. I tend to agree, in the sense that the racing seems to be pretty linear. The track isn't conducive to a lot of really awesome overtakes. So I tend to agree. Like, obviously, they have it at Abu Dhabi because it's Abu Dhabi and because it's, fancy and so much money was poured into it and yada yada yada. But I just don't think the quality of racing you get at Abu Dhabi is the same as some of the other tracks, and then maybe there could be a shake-up. If there was to be a shake-up, then maybe it would do wonders for the calendar. But then again, I'm not an expert. I just sort of echo.
You don't have the money coming into your pocket. It changes all of these decisions, isn't it? But I think it'd be better suited early in the season, near Bahrain, perhaps, the Asian sort of part of the calendar. I think most of these tracks suffer mainly from the cars. I think the cars are the real reasons we don't have the overtakes. I think the track I don't think has anything fundamentally forward with it. It's just a bit samey. I think Jacob. 2021 hopefully will be a change.
Jacob in the chat. I bet if it wasn't the season finale, people wouldn't have it as much. That's exactly the community thought, is the fact that you're putting... Well, okay, so a lot of the time, of course, you're not... The title fight never really comes down to Abu Dhabi. Sometimes it does, but not all the time. Like, for example, the title fight in F1 this year was decided back at Coda. So Lewis Hamilton finished.
Some would argue it was decided at bloody Australia, but yeah.
Oh my God! Combined, did you just reverse? All right. So he's really lucky he didn't get disqualified then, because he parked on the main straight and was like, "Oh, I missed it. I'll just reverse back and drive back in." Oh, interesting.
Well, it's one way to do it, I suppose. I think that it's going to be a rare occasion we get a fight here like we did in 2016 with Nico and Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. I think
that's obviously the highlight.
I think there should probably be a change. But then again, that's for the F1 guys to decide, not for us. Okay, so 9 minutes 54 left on the clock. While we have been chatting, about that. A couple more drivers have just set times. Revo just then set a 1:33.8, making him provisional pole. Bandcamp came across with a 1:34.8, which is a great result for him. That's put him in second. Combined with a 1:36.3, currently in seventh. Lotus with a 1:37.2. That'll set him in 8th position. Then Mikau set a time, 1:35.8, 5th. Greeny, 1:35.7. That's put him in 4th. Seb currently on an out lap. You see him a little bit rocky here as he comes around the final sector. Let's have a look. He's sitting at the 1:35, so already slower than you'd expect. But he is on the hard compound. So a 1:36.9 on the hard compound allow for the distribution in time, and that's actually not bad.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of guys there will be pretty happy with their position. I don't think Bam will be pleased to be a whole second behind Revo, though. He'll be hoping he finds a bit more time.
Alright, so on board with Nut here in the McLaren, and as soon as I switch to him, he decides to back off. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but obviously... Oh, yep. Takes the world's largest escape road. So yeah, he's definitely been something there. We'll have to come back to him. Let's have a look at Potty in the Haas. His teammate combined, setting a 1:36.3, currently in 7th. We'll see if Potty can improve, as he's currently on his flying lap, going down the back straight out of turn 7. So what's the tyre strategy here? I feel like it'd just be soft medium.
Yeah, I don't think this track is particularly tough on the tyres. As with everything, I think a one-stop's more than viable here. It'll probably depend on incidents as well. If guys have to come in early for a wing, then yeah, you might push 2 or go on the hards early, but...
Alright, Jacob Meister saying we were doing 2 stops in the practice race. T-Mac with a soft medium. Okay, so it's a 2-stopper, okay. Right. Well,
so there's enough pace there. Oh,
if it's a 2-stopper, actually, I think I did see somewhere T-Mac was mentioning that Revo might have some issues here with tyre temp. I think he was saying that he was trying his setup, and that the tyre temps were very, very hard to balance. So if it is a 2-stop, then that brings a lot more math into the strategy here at Abu Dhabi. As Potsy comes across the line with a 1:35.4, cementing himself in 4th place. That's a pretty good drive. Let's jump on board with Matzoid, who looks like he's currently on the lap, as he failed to set one before due to invalidating.
Well, it's going to be interesting too, because it could well depend on when he was doing those practices too, because this is pretty much a night race, really. So temps will be a little bit lower than they are right now, I expect, which will help a bit.
All right, well, we'll have to maintain a watchful eye on everyone.
He does have telemetry on, so I can see his tyre temps, so we'll keep track of it.
All right, here comes Mattoid round. He'll cross with a 1:34.9, knocking Potsy down 1, so that'll put him into 4th, right behind Bandcamp there in the Renault. Not a bad drive there from the Red Bull. We just had another person set a time. That would have been Wahid, I think, with a 1:35.1. And it looks like Mikau has retired. So it looks like he'll be happy with his 1:35.8 when we have 6 minutes left on that qualifying clock. Revo is currently on an out lap. Lotus and Seb on a flying. Let's jump on board with Lotus. Oh,
Yep.
Taking a dive through the sea. So obviously not the lap he so desires. Let's check out Revo.
He's on a personal best at the moment as well.
Oh, on a personal best. Well,
first 2 sectors.
Let's have a look. Jumping on board with Bandcamp as he's coming around the back section of the track through turns 17 and 18? Yeah, and then you got that nice straight up to turn 20 and into turn 21. Abu Dhabi is a very technical track. Oh, he pulls into the pits.
Pulled out of it. Okay.
So decided
strange.
not to.
Revo goes purple first sector, so he's looking to improve.
Revo currently travelling down that back straight. Massive back straight all the way up in 8th gear. Something like 335 or so before you hit that last into turn 8. Turn 8, turn 9 chicane. So we'll see how he transforms the rest of this lap into that DRS zone. So, I mean, on paper, Abu Dhabi looks like a track where you could make a lot of moves. But it just isn't. Because the racing is so... Everyone's just stuck behind each other. And it's just one big straight line. It's weird. Like, if you look at it on paper and you go, holy shit, that's a lot of corners. But it just doesn't... I don't know. It just doesn't translate.
Yeah. Exactly. As I was saying, it should have all the makings of a good overtaking circuit. A couple of big long straights with sharp 90s and chicanes at the ends and medium speed corners, side by side. But, yeah, I think it's the cars that are the problem, really.
Okay, so...
better come across the line and improve by a big chunk.
133.465. So it is. And okay, yep, Riva. Yep.
That's one way to do it.
You can definitely do that. That is one way to do it. So we'll say he's happy with his time. That's what that's telling me. Oh, Riva. All right, jumping on board with Nat, the only driver so far on the grid not to set a time. Hopefully we'll see a good one from him. Jesus, what are you doing? Okay, he won't be setting a time. I think Nat's having some issues with handling. Maybe.
His time doesn't look too bad. Oh, he's a bit right there. He's lost it.
Did you know, the last couple of corners he just didn't take? He's like, it's a guideline. They're guidelines. If it's not a concrete barrier, then it's not a wall.
Jesus, he's hitting just about anything he
can.
Yeah,
he's coming into the pits there. You can tell there's some setup issues there. He's got to nail them down. He's got 2 minutes and 45 seconds to fix them. Actually, no, sorry. It'd be less than that because he has to make the out lap. So I think he's safe at about the 2 minute mark. So if you can't get out by the 2 minute mark, I think he'll have to sacrifice it and start at the back.
Well, he can't be any lower than he is right now anyway, so you may as well go for something.
T-Rex just killed me in the chat. My name is Nut, and this is my track guide of Yas Marina Circuit. If within my power, if I have the ability to do so, I will 100% make a parody video with that as an exact idea. And it'll just be a car going through every single corner, just no turns.
Every trackside object is in the crosshairs.
And then it'll just be cutouts of Fernando Alonso going, for the next chicken, straight. This chicken, straight. This chicken, straight. This chicken, hard left, straight. Every chicken straight. You can take every chicken straight.
Oh, man.
Chicken. Every chicken. All right, so Greeny coming off his out lap now. Currently sitting 6th with a 135.4. Let's see if he can climb up the positions, maybe get closer to his teammate there, up in 3rd. All right, as he sets off now. In through Sector 1. So you can see, staying on board here with the Renault, the track is incredibly fast. There's a lot of places where you can just absolutely let that engine run so high and pull out, especially this one here, coming out of turn 7, just an intensely long straight into the DRS zone. Smack that on, you get all that boost from the reduced drag all the way down into turn 8, and again hitting something like 335 or so. Hard on the brakes here because then you obviously have to take the elongated chicken through turn 9, then hit another DRS zone into turn 10, and then another mini sort of isn't straight, to borrow a term, as you fly all the way down into turn 11. Then you get another small technical chicken.
So easy to cock it up here too, but he nails it there.
See? Chicken, cock, we're on point. That's what's happening. Okay. And of course you make your way through the back. Now a lot of people take this flat, but the problem is if you do that and you're not paying attention, then turn 16 comes up too quick. You have to lock onto the brakes and then you end up in the painted stuff. So you do really have to watch and manage your time through there well. Okay, so Greeny now coming up to the last corner. Let's see. Uses a very good apex there. Comes out. We're looking at a 135 possibly. 135.3. So he'll finish in 7th. So he does improve, but it doesn't change any of the position. So he'll stay 7th. Combined will start in 6th. Let's have a look at... so everyone is out on times. This is going to be hard. Let's just go to Gus. And we'll monitor those checkered flags and we'll see how people cross. So right now, Revo, provisional pole, 133.4. That's pretty damn fast. Okay. Gus Rules is currently sitting 2nd. And he's more than 1 second behind. And I think Combined may have just ruined Gus's run.
Seb's just set a lap as well in there.
Oh my God, Seb on the medium tyre, a 134.7. That'll put him into 3rd. And yeah, I think
he's improving here as well by the look of it.
I think Gus
should jump Seb here, I think.
Ooh,
no, he doesn't.
134.782. So that'll keep him in. Let's see. Let's jump in with Wahid.
Ooh, Wahid!
Oh my God! Okay, so I catch him right at the end, but he manages to jump all the way up to 4th, setting himself behind the Mercedes with a 134.7 on that soft tyre. Great job there from Wahid and the Toro Rosso. His teammate, unfortunately, down in 12th, starting not last because obviously couldn't set a time. But starting at the back there, so Wahid will be looking to spearhead the Toro Rosso campaign to try and get a couple of points here for the last race.
Yeah, poor old Nut. Hope he can figure something out. He's stuck with the setup he's got now for the race, but hopefully it's drivable. All right.
Okay, so again, just a quick recap. Revo, of course, your pole position sitter. We did that with a 133.4. Absolutely ridiculous time. Gus Rules with a 134.6. He might have been on point to improve that, but there might be something that has to be looked at. But I do believe he was put off. Combined was taking up the inside of a corner, so I'm not sure. That might have to be looked at. Seb with the medium tyre starting with a 134.7, so that's pretty good. The only other driver to start on the medium tyre is Lotus, and he doesn't even have to do so because he's outside the top 10. So we'll see if the strategy comes into it at all. And then, of course, times from the rest of the board. And unfortunately, not being able to set a time, so he will have to start from the back. But hopefully luck will be in his favour and he can make a couple of positions at least and give us some entertaining racing. So, if I had to guess, I'm going to say that Revo's probably going to take the win on this one. Because the guy's just so freaking strong.
Yeah, bar injury or incident, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Especially if he can clear the air early on, build a bit of a second gap before DRS, and then away you go.
Yeah, but for second, I think, right, I feel like Gus is going to maintain the second position really well, but I wouldn't put it past... I think there's going to be a mad fight between Seb, Gus, and possibly Wahid.
Yeah.
Because Wahid throughout this season, man, like... he sets times that you don't expect. Like, if you look at qualifying and you look at the grid, right? So, from the start of the season, you go, okay, so Revo's strong, Pacey's strong, Seb's strong, yada, yada, yada. And then as the season's evolved, you can see how pretty much the entire grid has leveled up to use a phrase. And Wahid's becoming more and more... Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say. Wahid to Tier 1 is like what Sphinx is to F2. Like, he came out of freaking nowhere.
Yeah.
So you see him racing, you go, yeah, no, he's a good racer, whatever. And then now he's just setting faster and faster times, and you're going, okay, this is awesome. Because close racing is fantastic for all of us to watch, especially as commentators, because then you get to hear me yell off my head. And that's fun for me as it is for you. Not so much for my partner, but whatever.
Yeah, I think Wahid's definitely in sort of the Matzoid category at the moment.
Yeah.
Really lightning on a fair few tracks where he's podium worthy for sure. Yeah. And then a little bit behind the pace in others.
So T-Mac's saying that Wahid got second at Brazil. I was away for that race. Did he actually get second at Brazil?
Oh, Christ, now I've got to try and remember. I mean, I wouldn't.
Because if he did, that just cements my point.
Yeah, well.
That just cements my point. Like, he's absolutely incredibly improved throughout the season. And this, all of this is making me more and more excited for Season 4. Because, of course, not only are we going to have a refresh of teams, and it looks like that we've got a couple of more drivers on board, and we will have a switch up with Tier 1, because, of course, the success from Tier 2 gets to move up to Tier 1, and so on and so forth. T-Mac, yep, just checked. Okay, so Wahid got second. There you go. The most of my point proven. Well done, mate. Keep going. But yeah, so obviously with the next season coming up, obviously we'll have a refresh. Everybody will start from fresh, and we should see an awesome grid improvement and hopefully closer racing. And then, of course, from us here at the broadcast team, you will see some improvements as well, but you'll have to wait until later before we can show them to you. All right, so let's get everything set up as we have the drivers out. So all their setups are finalised, fuel loads, so on and so forth. We've got 28 laps here for this Tier 1 race here at Yas Marina. And we're watching as Revo is leading the formation lap. Let's have a look here. T-Mac, I'm so excited because some top talent is joining Tier 1, also known as T-Mac the Sexy. Okay. Here's the thing, and I mean absolutely zero disrespect, maybe 1% disrespect, but here, okay. I agree that you, T-Mac, are very talented, and you have shown that through all of Tier 2. But everyone's going to remember Spa, buddy. So just let's keep it humble.
Seb leaves the session on the formation lap.
Yeah, so I think his internet's not gonna. Hopefully, I don't think his internet's gonna keep up. As now the chat is debating, as T-Mac is forcibly trying to forget what happened there. Because what makes it funny, T-Mac, and I swear I'll drop it up this. What makes it funny is nobody did anything to you.
Yeah.
See, if you got bumped, different story. Everyone would be like, he did him dirty. No, you just hit the rib strip the wrong way and went Max Verstappen's right into the... But even then, it's not fair to Max Verstappen. He did get hit by Kimi Räikkönen. But anyway. However, I am very happy that you are making your way into Tier 1, and hopefully you will show us some great racing, because that's what I want from everyone. I just want everybody in Tier 1 to just show us absolutely top tier.
Really backing them up. Holy moly. Just about 3 wide on track.
Well, I
Not
think
the usual trick for him. He's usually
sideways Tokyo drifting around every bloody... Alright, so just waiting for all of the... It was the reason I got a wheel. Well then, good. Well then, good. I was really annoyed I couldn't make that 100% race. I had a physio appointment because my back is being a tool and not a good one. And then I binned it. Okay. All right. So the grid has formed up. Now we're just got to wait for those 5 red lights to count down to turn off, and then we'll be away. Okay, Lotus. Drive-through penalty with a jump start, so that's going to affect him very hard. But everyone else has taken off, and now we're following on. So Revo currently in front. We've got Wahid trying to go right up on the back of Seb, but Seb is currently DC'd, so he'll just move straight out of the way. So Wahid makes a position there. As of now, everybody is in a pretty good spot. We don't have any collisions of any
we've
sort.
Got a Ferrari Flyboys out.
Okay, so Flyboy.
Lost a bit of wing there.
Yep, he'll drop down at the back there, which means that Nut moves up to one position. So not quite sure exactly.
Nut lost a bit of wing, actually. Flyboy's okay, but Nut lost the wing. So.
Yeah, it looks like he's missing his right end plate there. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but that has caused Flyboy to drop down all the way. So he's going to have some issues there. We see Matzoid just overtaking the Ghost to Seb as Seb's Ghost trying its best, but he can't really do much. Let's jump up to Matzoid.
Mikau as well. Gets past 2 guys in the chicane. Hell of an overtake.
Alright, so Mikau and Combined fighting it out there. It looks like Bandcamp there in 7th. Have a look at this. He's going side by side with Potty here. He'll look to go up on the inside, and it looks like he's going to make it work. Will he be able to take the advantage coming through the rest of the chicane? He does. Bandcamp will take 6th. What a great move there. Potty's forced to do nothing but watch.
Potty gave him a little shove in the back as well. Lucky not to lose some end plate there.
Yeah, just to let him remember. He's like, I'm watching you, buddy. But yeah, great drive there from the Renault. He'll make up that position. So Revo, of course, still on the lead. Gus Rules in second. Wahid in third. Matzoid in fourth. Seb's Ghost doing its best there in fifth. Yep, Seb's joins back. Okay, so hopefully he'll be able to take the reins and show us a little bit of improvement. Here we go. Starting that second lap. Let's look at these interval times. Everyone's still pretty close. We can see Gus Rules is right up on the back of Revo here as they came up into turn one. It's going to be very, very hard to try and keep up on top of everyone. Let's have a look here. Greeny trying to get past Combined there in the Haas. Oh my God! He almost went airborne. Combined hit that ripple strip so bloody hard. The back of that car just snapped up. That's intense. All right, so Greeny trying to get
squeeze past Seb as well.
Right, yeah, so, okay, so Ben will take up that fifth position now. As we're on board with his teammate, who's trying to do what he can to catch up to the Haas driver in front. Looks like Flyboy made an overtake as well at the back. Forces Lotus into lap 13. All right. So 3 drivers out of the 13 starting on that medium tyre. That's Seb, Mikau, and Lotus. The rest opting for the soft. So if the chat is to be believed, we are looking at a 2-stop strategy here. So we'll see how all of that comes into it in terms of strategy for these teams. We'll see who loses out, where the undercuts, where the overcuts come out. We'll see how that all works out.
Just on that tyre watch, as I run through that for the evening, it is obviously only lap 2, but early on, Revo's definitely using more tyre than the rest of them. His tyre wear rate's much, much higher. Temp's not so much, but his wear is, so have to keep an eye on that.
Right, okay, so he just set the fastest lap as we hit kickoff lap 3, which means, of course, DRS is enabled, which will allow some of the guys following to be able to get a couple of extra kph down those zones in an attempt to try and make up for, of course, the dirty air through the corners. And we'll see if that can lead to some really good overtakes. T-Mac, I tried a soft hard and lost at least 5 to 10 seconds on the 2-stopper. Okay, fair enough. So it looks like the hard compound, not the optimum strategy, which means the 2-stopper is going to be the way to go. So we'll have to keep an eye on that here as Greeny's trying to catch up again to Combined. Now they all have DRS, but Combined does not. He's outside that 1 second range, which means that coming up into turn 8, sorry. Turn 9 is the one directly after. He'll be closer than before. So then he'll be able to jump up a couple of positions, I think, because he'll hit this DRS and he'll probably be able to go up on the outside. Which way is he going to go? Combined doing a little bit of a weave. Greeny goes up onto the right side. So that's going to be a disadvantage coming into the chicane, but we'll have a look. You can see him right at the back there. Weird camera choice, but thank you, broadcast. However, Greeny does make the position. He'll take 9th. Combined forced to go back into the back. And there it is. Greeny does solidify the position. Hopefully he can hold it as we move forward. Let's jump up 2 positions there as Potsy, Combine's teammate, is trying to do the same.
Lightning in the middle sector there. Went purple for sector 2.
Yeah, you can see as he's trying to fucking take Seb here in the Mercedes. Not holding back, and this is exactly what I want to see here at Yas Marina for the final race. Revo sets another fastest lap, so he's not he's not in here for a casual drive. He's here to absolutely blitz it. Oh man, you can see how much that ripple strip really does unstick the car, man. It's crazy. All right, let's have a look at these intervals. Matzoy, 0.8. Bandcamp, 0.8. Potsy, 0.5. The rest of them are starting to open up a little bit. You can see at the back of the grid there, we've got Greeny at 2.2 from Mick out, Combined with a 1.3, Nut with a 1.5. So those guys are going to have to try and work to try and close that gap to see if they can make DRS work in their favour. DRS really, really strong here on the back straight, and then of course the straight immediately after, because they are so close together, working up into those 2 chicanes. Jacob Drifter, where is bad enough you see people dipping into the pits at lap 5 to 6? Yeah, well, again, we've got to keep an eye on that because you can make or break your race based on that strategy, which is something that Revo echoes a lot, but I don't think a lot of people really pay attention to here. Oh, Potsy going up on, trying to go up on the outside of Seb there.
For those that I can see, Band is by far the lightest on his tyres. He's at about 26% on the rears, whereas Revo's sitting at 37% on the rears. So
yeah, right.
It's quite a jump there.
I was going to say,
lap or two away.
I was going to say it's very typical Bandcamp is the type of person that, like he's like the mathematician.
He's the button of AFR, just smooth. So that could help today.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so lap 5, here we are. So Potsy still trying to climb up as close as he can up to Seb, but Seb's doing a great job to hold him off. 0.4 is the gap between them. Have a look, though. The Red Bull of Mikau, through all of that, is slowly but surely closing the gap. And he's chasing up the back of this Haas with just as much furiosity, is the word I'm looking for, as they come hard braking into turn 6 and 7. Here we go. So now, of course, turn 7 back straight. They'll be able to absolutely floor it here with the DRS.
Well, right now, there's nothing between the medium compound and the soft. They're setting identical mid-140s, so these softs already past the best.
Ooh! Mikau going for that late break. But luckily, he was able to just pull it up, avoid a lockup, because he would have taken out Potsy pretty badly had he not been able to stop. Okay, so they're still very, very close. Seb has dropped the time between himself and Bandcamp down. It's kind of floating. He's still at the 2-second mark. You can see Potsy's all the way down to 0.2, so he is absolutely on the back of that Mercedes gearbox. And Mikau is trying to do the same, but he's just slightly further back, floating around that 0.7 mark. Let's jump up a couple of positions.
Needs to get it done before those softs die, because he's probably only got another 2 laps of them being good. He's in the 43-44% mark now.
All right, so right now we're seeing a little bit of a mirror matchup. Greeny is trying to catch up to Mikau. He's 4.4 seconds. But Bandcamp in the other Renault is only 0.4 behind Matoid. And as you can see on this onboard camera, Matoid's having a little bit of oversteer issues coming into some of these corners. And that's going to scrub some speed, and that's going to allow Bandcamp to try and catch up. So we're currently hitting lap 6 now, on board with Bandcamp here on the Renault. And the first person to hit the pits is Wahid. So the Toro Rosso has gone in. He'll switch first. That was lap 6. All right, so let's have a look here. There's Bandcamp, the master of wear and defense and all the other things. And as we've been talking, have a look at Seb, 0.4. So, yeah, I think we're starting to see the softs start to drop off, and we're starting to see the mediums pick up, because Seb just dropped it from 2 seconds to 0.4. Oh, God, Wahid comes out of the pits, gets a 3-second time penalty. Okay. So, unfortunately,
Revo will hit 50% wear on the rears by the end of this lap, so that will truly past their best at that point.
All right, so let's have a quick look here at Seb, because something has absolutely switched on in this Mercedes. Bandcamp goes up on the left of Matoid here, and it looks like Seb's going to try and do the same. Hard braking into the corner. Can he make it through the chicane? Oh, my God, it's side by side here with the Red Bull, but he does make it work. Oh, so Bandcamp
overtakes at Abu Dhabi.
So exactly, Bandcamp manages to make that position. He jumps up into third, and then Seb takes the position as well.
Oh, contact as well there. Oh no, Matzowitz's lost wing went right under the diffuser of Seb there. Wasn't expecting the early break.
Does look like Matzoid has dropped a couple of positions there.
Lost an end plate. That's going to scrub some time and hurt the tyre wear as well.
Let's have a look if we can see. I'm not sure if the replay cam got it, but we'll have a look. So you can see here Seb goes past. And then Matzoid's gone absolutely flat. Yeah, just didn't hit the brakes in time. Bang! Hits the back of that Mercedes. And that causes quite a bit of damage. All right, so Matzoid's probably going to have to get that fixed.
He's in the pit now, so
yeah,
he is changing wings. So yeah,
fair enough. So Revo, Bandcamp, Potsy, and Matzoid all in the pit lane. Matzoid, of course, is going to have a longer pit stop because he's going to have to replace that front wing. So that might be a bit of an issue for him. We'll see where he ends up. So we've got lap 7, the majority of the grid now on mediums. So Gus Rules has decided to stay out. 6 laps of wear on those softs. He will take temporary leader position. Seb, of course, is still out because he was going for the longest stint. Oh, excuse me. Mikau doing the same. Greeny deciding to stay out on those softs as well. So right now, after that pit break, all of the gaps have blown out to about 3 seconds. The only 2 close ones, we're seeing Mikau to Seb because he didn't pit. He stayed out. And we're seeing, it looks like combined to Revo. So when Revo rejoined, it looks like combined is within that 1.5 race. So currently, nobody on the grid is within DRS range.
Getting through this traffic is going to be key for Revo as he cuts a corner there, actually. He might start getting some warnings if he does that. But, well, he's already within the DRS on Greeny. So he's turned on those mediums nice and quick. He went purple in the second sector there, Revo. Greeny makes a bit of a mess of it. I think Revo... Yeah, he's letting pass go around the outside.
Straight up on the outside. All right, so it looks like Greeny's pulling into the pits, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. So Greeny decides to call it here at lap 8. He'll probably switch over to the medium tyre. So it looks like if it's going to be a two-stop, it's going to be soft, medium, soft. I feel like that's the idea here.
Yeah, well, what Revo's going to need to pretty much get to at least lap 20, I think, on these mediums.
Yeah, so combined also pulling into the pits there. So everybody has now switched over to that medium tyre except for Gus Rule. So Gus is banking on the idea that he can make as much time as possible by staying out to lose as much time as possible when going into the pits. We'll see where he rejoins. If I had to guess, judging by the interval time, he'll probably try and slot in just between Revo and Wahid, if not just after, but we'll have a look.
It's hurting at the moment. His lap time's a good second or two down on the other guys around him. Revo did, what, a 139 there? And, no, sorry, Wahid did a 139, but Gus did a 141, so...
And have a look here as Matoid goes up on the outside of Lotus. Fantastic overtake as they come into turn 8. So very easily done. He'll shift up one position. Now let's have a look at Greeny, who's also eyeing off the Toro Rosso. Lotus having a little bit of issues with his car. You can tell he's having some handling issues because it's a little bit rocky. Will he go left? Will he go right? So Lotus goes up onto the left side. Greeny will stay up on the right side. He'll probably make an easy overtake. Yes, it is done. He'll take 9th position. And I think we just saw...
Gus stays out again.
Potsy with a time penalty?
Yeah, he got a 3 second for Potsy.
It was there. And yes, you're right, Gus decides to stay out. So he's trying to maximise that time. I think that might backfire though.
Yeah, I think...
Because Revo just set the fastest time again with a 1:38.0. So I don't know if that's going to work for...
Gus almost hit a 1:42 there. So he's almost 4 seconds slower than Revo on that last lap. Very close to it.
All right, so on board with combined here. Man, it's very unfortunate here for Lotus because he's getting hit harder and harder and he pulls into the pits. So he's obviously got some issues there as combined will take over. He'll sit in that 10th position. Okay, so right now Gus deciding to tempt fate. He will stay out and the chat thinking he's going to hit a one-stop. All right, let's see if it works.
He might even be trying to stretch this to the point where he can do a one-stop on the mediums, to be honest.
That's nuts. If he can pull that off, I mean, those softs are going to be like to the limit. And we saw exactly what happens when those softs are to the limit. Because if you remember the F2 race that we had, I do understand that they're different cars. But the F2 race that we had, Revo had pushed those limits to like 97%, and they all just gave out on that last corner. So I can't see with the faster speeds and more power coming out of these F1 cars, if that's actually a very smart idea to do. But hey, Gus Rules has shown us that, you know,
he's at 60% on the rears now.
Oh.
Fronts are still doable, about 48-49%, but the rears, they're good.
All right. In that case, since all these gaps are blown out,
he's got to dive in this time.
There it is. Okay, so he dives into the pits. Now, let's have a look here. I will stay on board with Gus. All right, so Seb goes past. Mikau goes past. Revo goes past.
Compound.
So he'll switch on to the medium compound, no worries. Tyres go on. Why is he being held? Oh. Okay, maybe there's just a bit of a glitch there.
Yeah, he didn't get held on my side, so I think he's...
All right, fair enough. So it looks like he will exit out as Matt Toy gets 3 second time penalty. So into Abu Dhabi, out of the pit tunnel. Let's have a look. He will come out. It looks like it's going to be 7th. Or possibly 6th. Oh, it's going to be side by side with Potsy as they come in. What an exit. Now it's going to be who can brake later, who can take the inside, and Gus Rules gets a 3 second time penalty because he didn't yield. Oh no. Okay, so trying to keep on to that position, and unfortunately it has cost him with a 3 second time penalty. That's going to be rough. And
he really probably didn't need to because he could have picked up DRS and got this move done anyway.
That is exactly my thought. And now Potsy's just going to laugh at him and be like, yeah, no worries, mate. I'll just take the DRS.
Put DRS on then.
Well, he's just going to come straight through this chicane, straight past the detection zone, into the DRS, and he'll probably have a straight shot into the chicane. I'm not sure if he'll catch him. Let's see. Is he going to go up onto the right side? He will, but I don't think that's going to be enough to make the overtake. No, he'll have to fall in line and wait for another opportunity. But that was awesome. He couldn't make that better in terms of cinematography. That was, that was perfect. Exiting side by side with Potsy there on the way into turn 5.
So these mediums aren't lasting brilliantly for Seb. He's up to the 50% mark now, 10 laps in. You probably want a little bit more life out of that, because that's only like 2 or 3 laps more than the softs were giving you, to be honest. Which isn't ideal, as he's drifting through there. He almost lost the rear end completely through turn 1.
So Revo will make the overtake here, coming up on turn 5, and he will do that with ease. As you can see, Seb starting to feel the effects of the fatigue on those medium tyres. Did you say 50%?
54% on the rears.
54%. Yeah, okay. So they are starting to really get to that point where he might have to start thinking about pulling in. We're at lap 11 of 28, so we're still not at that halfway mark. That'd be 4.
Mikhail's surprisingly are a lot better. He's only at 40% on the rears, so Seb's chewing his tyres. Soon they got the same 10 laps on him.
Alright, so Revo currently in the lead, 1.2 seconds between him and Seb. So Seb and Mikhail, of course, the only two that did not pull into the pit, so they'll have to pull the pin soon-ish. We'll see exactly when they decide to. And that's, of course, going to allow Wahid, Bandcamp, and Gus Rules to climb up the ladder as Combine makes an overtake on Greenie at the back there. Let's jump back to Potsy, who's still trying to chase down Gus Rules. Now, of course, unfortunately, Gus Rules did get a 3-second time penalty for trying to hold that inside line. Cut a little bit too much of the corner, and that will cost him. But Potsy won't know that, so he's going to try and push very, very hard to take the 6th position as they come through the back sector of Abu Dhabi.
Seb's in.
All right, so Seb goes in. Right, but Mikhail stays out? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. He's got a good 13% less wear, so okay, he can probably squeeze another 2 laps if you want to go to the same wear.
Fair enough. Right, so he'll stay out. As, let's see, Bandcamp dropping through those positions. Where will he... Bandcamp, sorry, Seb. I saw the B.
Come out just in front of Matt Sweet. A couple of seconds.
Yep, so he'll be looks like 4 seconds ahead. Not bad. All right, so he'll have fresh. So he went on to mediums again. So he's doing the 2-stop.
He's got to be, yeah. So
medium to medium. Okay, we'll see if that works. Sector 1, Sector 2, yellow flag.
That's not a good sign. Yeah, we've got a McLaren sideways. And, yeah, that's on turn 1.
All right, so it looks like Nut there getting hit or sliding out. That's caused him to drop back down to 12th.
Not sure what the Sector 2 flag was for, but yeah. Turn 1's a long way from Sector 2.
Right, on board with Potsy again, the closest of the drivers here on the grid. So Gus Rules doing a great job there defending 5th. But Potsy, like a hawk, isn't going anywhere. He's trying his darndest to get past. And I mean, I don't know, because obviously not being a tier 1 driver, technically not being a driver at all, but I don't know, the pressure has to be kind of off-putting a little bit, because every time you look in your rear view, all you see is this black mass of speed just coming at you. And I mean, you've got to take into account the fact that, yeah, you're trying to keep, your position on the track and go as fast as you can, and then every time you look back, there's just this car that will not go away.
I think that's why they tell them don't mirror drive. Let's move forward. Damn easy to get caught looking in the mirror and suddenly miss a braking point. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yes, I can imagine.
Potsy a bit loose there on the back end out of that exit. That won't help him down the straight.
Now have a look at this. He set it into overtake. He is absolutely going for it. Let's see if he can make it up onto turn 8. He'll have to go onto the left because Gus Rules has decided he will take that right spot. The broadcast cam not helping me at all. Side by side here, going through the chicane. Gus Rules getting that inch better as they come in, but who's got the DRS into the detection zone? It's Potsy. So Potsy will have it all the way to the side, and that's going to be at a disadvantage to the Ferrari. Oh, and he slots in right behind. Great job there from Potsy. He will take 5th. And Gus Rules, no choice but to hold back. So now it's going to be the prancing horse in the rearview mirror of the Haas. And we'll see if the fresh tyres on the Ferrari can make up the difference. Let's have a look at some of these other intervals. There aren't really any close ones. Wahid is 0.5 behind Bandcamp. But Mikau decides to pit. So at lap 14, he comes into the pits.
So they lasted okay for him. He was at bang on 50% on the rears there.
And he switches to the hard tyre.
Well, that's so one stopper for him, obviously. But okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on his pace and see what it can pull out of him. Everyone else in the chat saying it's a death move, but we'll see.
Alright, so Mikau looks like he exits out in 8th, just behind his teammate, funnily enough.
Oh, he's going to go for the dive too.
And he does. Well done by Mikau. So Fresh Haas overtakes his teammate there in 8th. Combined using that little battle to try and make up as well. So he's only 0.5 behind. And let's jump back with Gus Rawls, who's trying to get up on the inside of turn 8. It's probably not going to work, though, as Revo gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, my God, side by side here. But he goes into the DRS, so Gus Rawls will have DRS. He looks to go up on the right side. Potsy can't do anything about it. He's just going to have to try and hope that he can break later into that inside line, and it's not going to work. And Gus Rawls makes the position back. Ferrari moves itself up into 4th. Great job there by Gus.
Gus really needs to save some ERS. It's getting low.
Yeah, he's currently on. He smashed it into 0, trying to gain that charge. I mean, that's what the ERS is for, obviously. It's there so you can get that speed boost, so you can try and make those overtakes. But the thing is, if you don't manage it well, you end up getting caught out at the back end of the race. And in the back end of the race is where you need it the most, because that's where you're probably going to defend all your positions. So we'll see how it pans out for Gus. Already we're thinking he's made quite a risky pit maneuver. Of course, staying on the mediums, staying on the softs for so long. But he's in 4th.
Well, he's also got Seb.
Yeah.
A second behind him, who's going to be on lightning fast soft for the final stint.
So a lot of this is going to come. It's going to come pretty close to the wire, which is great, because that's what we want to see. As Potsy trying to make up that position, but have a look at the silver arrow in the back of that. He has climbed up like absolute tornado.
Not even using the ERS to do it either.
He's 95% on charge. It's ridiculous. If it wasn't for the fact that Seb's internet is so if I had to say, it's a hamster running through a wheel that provides it. Like, he'd be such a strong... Oh, that's hard on the brakes. Oh, man, Potsy catching Seb off guard there. Seb having to drop down. Now, luckily, he didn't get a time penalty for any of that.
That's a big second to lose, though.
Nah, he'll make it back. That's not even an issue.
Just still in slipstream.
I don't doubt that for a second. I don't doubt it for a second. So he's currently at 1.1. He just dropped down into that 0.9. But you watch the talent and the lines that he takes. He'll get up back to the back of that Haas in no time. And then it's going to be a three-way battle, because Gus Rawls isn't going to want to give up that position. Potsy's going to want it back. And then Seb's going to have to try and navigate his way between both of those drivers to see if he can make it up.
Sample size still small, but Mikau just went personal best in the first sector on those set of hards. Set of 17.9, which is faster than most of the field, actually, at this point. So the hards don't seem drastically slow at this point.
Fair enough.
Let's see when we get a full lap, which he's about to finish. Looks like it's going to be about a 141, maybe? No, 139.9, okay. Which is actually right in there. His fastest lap of the race. It was half a second slower than the car in front.
All right, so Seb makes that move into turn 5, and he'll take the overtake there on Potsy. So great job there from Seb. Now his challenge is to try and catch that Ferrari in front of him. Currently 1 second ahead, so he won't have DRS moving in. Potsy will, but something tells me the Haas won't be able to catch up to the back of that silver arrow. Lap 16 of 28. So we have passed the halfway mark here at Yas Marina. And Seb has managed to drop into that DRS zone just before the second DRS section. So Gus is now going to be sweating bullets, as he'll now have to try and defend the moves from the Mercedes. And then, of course, if there's a close battle between those two, this should allow the Haas of Potsy to come back into the fray. But right now he has dropped to that 1.1 second mark, so it's not looking good for him. He also does have 9 laps of wear, so it does make a little bit
well, we've got an incident. We've got Flyboy around, and we've got looked like Reed might have been caught in that, but I think it was Lotus.
So Wahid drops down, Flyboy drops down a ton of seconds.
Something blue, but yeah. It's not a good day out so far for the second Ferrari. And then he gets another 3-second penalty to make the lap from hell complete.
That's rough. That is really, really rough.
Greeny pits. Maybe it was Greeny that was involved in that incident. It's hard to tell, but...
So it looks like Combined trying to come up onto the back of Matto there as we're on board with Seb. Let's have a look here into the DRS zone. So that wing is going to go smack open. Have a look at the speed. He'll go right up onto that left side with no effort whatsoever. And the Mercedes will take that position, but now it's up to Gus, because, of course, Gus will go through the detection zone, and he'll have DRS coming into the second area. So we'll see if he'll be able to catch him. Something tells me he won't, though. Seb is currently absolutely flying around this track. And now Seb's goal will be to try and catch the Renault of Bandcamp, 2 seconds behind. But he does have a good 10 or so, 11 or so laps to try and make up the difference. And then, of course, we'll have to see if there are any other pit stops involved and how they'll interject themselves into all the strategy. But as it stands, Revo's still in the lead. 16 seconds. 16 seconds! He's going to come out of this pit in front.
That's going to be big too.
As Bandcamp does as well. So Bandcamp goes in, Seb decides not to, neither does Gus. So Bandcamp, oh well, of course they don't have to. They don't really have the same amount of wear. But Revo will exit in front. He just got a free pit stop. No, he didn't. Sorry. I've made that wrong because Abu Dhabi is slightly longer than a normal track. So he will exit. Oh, side by side with Gus as he makes his way into turn 5. Oh, how did they not...
That could have ended in tears.
How did they not collide? Holy okay. Okay, that was insane. Wow.
Does Seb have any answer?
Oh,
Revo
and
gets DRS.
The annoying bit is I was so focused on that, I forgot to hit the replay cap. But that was insane. Revo so incredibly close to the wheels of that Ferrari. And now it's meant that Seb is currently in the lead. Revo chasing him down with absolutely fresh mediums, and Gus is going to try and capitalise on all of the mess. Let's jump up there. Revo's going to look into going into that left side. Seb's going to have no choice but to let him go past. And it looks like with the brake, let's have a look. Yep, he'll get an easy break there. So Revo will take the lead back. What a massive gap for Revo to be able to take a pit stop with essentially no sacrifice.
Yeah, just consistently lapping good half a second faster every lap. Adds up real quick.
Man, that's... Seriously, man, Revo's on another level. Whew.
Exact same time where he got past Combined and Flyboy jumped. Nah. 3 overtakes at the same time. You could have said that about Abu Dhabi.
You don't see this much action from actual F1, that's for sure, right? That's for sure. Okay. Let's drop back a couple of positions down. So Bandcamp, of course, came into the pits. He's now exited somewhere in about 7, so he's now chasing down the Haas as Combined decides to pull in. So he'll be pitting there with the 10 laps of wear, lap 19. So Bandcamp will now be trying to chase down the Toro Rosso of Wahid, currently 1.4 seconds behind him. Bandcamp doing an exemplary race tonight. His strategy seems to be really on point, because if you have a look at some of the cars in front, I don't think they're going to last on those tyres. Mikau will. There's no doubt that the hards will make it to 28. That's no.
Yeah, he's only at 15% on those rears after 5 laps.
Yes.
He's doing about 3% a lap.
So he'll be fine. But the question will be, can the speed be maintained?
He did a 140.7 last lap, which was, probably half a second slower than the fresh mediums at least. Which will add up.
Bandcamp now managing to bring himself just under the DRS time. Oh, but it's extended. Let's see. Yep, no, he's got the DRS as he goes through the detection zone. So will he be able to catch him as they move all the way into turn 11? No, he's not.
Use DRS.
So either he didn't care or his DRS is broken, and that'd be insane.
Or he didn't. Yeah, he didn't notice it, which I've done a couple of times as well.
Yeah.
Or you've pressed the button and it hasn't worked and you think it's on, but it's not.
Yeah, there is a slight glitch here in F1 2019 that I have noticed, which is if you're fast enough... Oh, Revo with a 137.0, no biggie. If you're fast enough and you hit the DRS button as you pass the line, it doesn't beep, but it activates. And the only reason I know it activates is because I look back and the wing's open. But there should be lights. I'm pretty sure there's yellow lights that flash.
Oh, it's different on every dash.
Yeah.
Like, some of them, they have the green light when you can use it, and then the light goes out when you turn it on, and other ones are backwards. So sometimes you just fool yourself. I've certainly done it.
All right, so
either way, you didn't use it.
So lap 20 of 28. So 8 laps remaining here at Yas Marina. Bandcamp 0.6 behind the Toro Rosso of Wahid as they come into this DRS. Now here we go. Let's have a look. Does the wing open? Yep. So the wing is fine. DRS is fine. Bandcamp just didn't care. All right, so as we move forward, Wahid's obviously got DRS on the bigger, more financially backed team, arguably, in the Red Bull there. Mikau on the hard tyre. So Wahid and Bandcamp are definitely going to have speed advantage as they come through. So Mikau's going to have to go in full defensive mode to try and back off the movement here from Wahid, and then Bandcamp's going to try and capitalise on that little battle. This Bandcamp goes a little bit late into the corner. No, actually, no. That's my eyes deceive me. He got that just fine.
So Mikau's lost a good 2 seconds over that last lap. Lap and a half in terms of interval. Car behind. He wants to hope those mediums drop off soon.
Ooh, okay, so Wahid, trying to avoid the back of Mikau, has gone way wide there. That's allowed Bandcamp to jump up. So Bandcamp now sandwiches himself between the two. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Wahid tried to do the good thing and avoid an accident. And Bandcamp was like, sorry, bud. Fits himself into 5th. So great job there. Now he's just got to chase down that Red Bull. What a world we live in where a Renault is absolutely thrashing behind a Red Bull.
In other news, Lotus has done his 3rd stop and he's on to a fresh set of softs.
Right, so he'll be hoping for what? A fastest lap, which won't matter because he's in 13th. Or he's hoping that maybe with the added bonus he can try and overtake Nut and possibly Flyboy, but
It's just lapping in luxury back there at the moment.
So let's just have a quick update here. Bandcamp is chasing down Mikau. Potsy's come out to chase down Wahid. Here comes Bandcamp on the outside. No issues whatsoever. So Mikau's got... Lotus with a 3-second time penalty. Okay. So Mikau now drops down into 5th. Wahid and Potsy, as Potsy gets an overtake on the Toro Rosso coming through the chicane, but that's going to allow... No, it's not. He still has DRS. Oh, he has DRS because of Mikau. Sorry, I thought that Wahid just got stiffed there by the chase, but no.
Yeah.
He came through the detection zone. They've all got DRS. So have a look at this absolute train. Bandcamp in 4th. Mikau 0.6 behind. Potsy 0.2 behind. Wahid is slowly dropping away. He's outside that DRS range now, so it is between Potsy and Mikau. Mikau's probably not going to be able to make up the position back to Bandcamp. Those hard tyres aren't really conducive to the speed. But have a look at Potsy, man, all over Mikau right now. Any little mistake that he makes, he's going to be all over that car. And I think as they come round the final turn here for lap 22, you'll see a massive dive. Oh, actually, probably not. He'll be better off trying to do that on the sweeping corner up to turn 5. As Nut gets a 3-second time penalty at the back there. Oh, man, Potsy. What a drive. He's killing it. Here we go. All the way through that long hander. So where is... And he'll probably play it safe. Yes.
Wait for DRS, yeah. Could have done easy there, especially with traction out of the corner. Oh, so much easier on the turn in there. That extra grip.
Oh, have a look at Potty. Smashes the DRS. Goodbye, Red Bull. And he is gone. That Haas is gone. So now it'll be up to Potty to see if he can chase down the Renault at Bandcamp. Chasing it down is one thing. Getting past it is another. Bandcamp, of course, we know him as the master of defense because he knows exactly where to put the car in order to try and thwart any form of attack move. My eyes deceive me a little bit, but that Red Bull is sticking pretty close to the back of that Haas.
So far, yeah. While it's got slipstream, if that breaks, which it's not far off doing,
I think it'll drop as we go forward. Now, I'm just going to make a quick switch here. Greeny trying to make an overtake as one Haas tries to chase down a Renault tries to chase down a Haas. Combined, trying to keep that 9th position, but Greeny wants it bad as Seb pulls into the pits. So Seb is into the pits there, lap 23 or 28 onto the soft tyre. So this is going to be critical. Where does he exit? Where does he exit? Bandcamp is currently 14 seconds behind.
Oh,
looks like he'll go past.
Right in that Potty Mikau Wahid battle, I think.
I'm going to have to jump on board for a
second.
second.
Out just behind Wahid, if not side by side.
Jump. So let's have a look here. He jumps just in front of Wahid. So he'll have to fight past those hard tyres. Probably not going to be an issue, let's be real. Then he's going to have to try and fight the Haas. And then, of course, the golden... Have a look at this! Side by side on on the outside of turn 7. All right. So Seb, pick one. To the right. Okay. Down you go. Towards turn 8. So that's the Red Bull done. Tick. Off the list. Now he's going to try and get the Haas. But on fresh softs, I have absolutely zero doubt in the ability of Seb and that Mercedes to make that up. But the real question will be, can he catch Bandcamp? 11 seconds is the gap there. Oh, it's an ask, but if there's a person that can do it, it's going to be Seb.
Gus still on track. He's 5 laps. Can he squeeze these mediums 5 laps and do a one-stopper?
Can you
stay out in front of Bandcamp? He's on 50% on the rears right now.
Do we have telemetry on Gus? Do we know what his tyres are on?
50% on the rears, 42 on the front.
Ooh, that's rough.
So 4 laps. So average is wears about 4% a lap. So
that's rough.
In the 66, 67% mark at the end. Probably worth it though. I mean, beats losing 20 seconds in a pit.
All right, so Seb has already... Ooh, as Wahid gets 3 seconds on to that. So Seb's already brought down the gap to 0.6 behind that Haas. The Haas holding on to that DRS zone with Bandcamp. So this could come down to a really epic 4 laps. I have no doubt in my mind that this Mercedes is going to be able to make that pass on that Haas. Pass on the Haas. As we come into turn 7, I have the brain of a child.
We entertain ourselves.
Oh, Flyboy's out of the race! So Flyboy has crashed out. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he has DNF'd. So that is a DNF here on lap 24 as the Mercedes hits a DRS. Now the Mercedes and the Haas both have DRS, but the ERS is on 4. I don't think it's a smart move to go up on the inside, but he decides to do it anyway. Makes the move, and he gets in between the Renault and the Haas. Great job there by Seb. So now all he's got to do is try and chase down Bandcamp. 9 seconds is the gap.
He might even do it on this straight. Not quite. He's going to have to stick behind him in the final 3rd sector, which will be a shame.
Oh, my mistake. I said 9 seconds was the gap, but that's between Bandcamp and Gus. Not between Seb and Bandcamp. So Seb now, the only obstacle in his way is this Renault. So here's a question. Probably not. No. 3 laps, 9 seconds? Nah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Nah, that's too pipe dreamy.
Yeah, I'll see what Seb's lap time is when he comes across. Obviously, a lot of traffic to deal with. What did he do? He did a 137, whereas Gus did a 140. So you're going 3 seconds on Gus that lap. Freaking hell, it's going to be close if he can keep doing it. 3 seconds faster than Gus. Gus is only going to get slower.
Did you just say he's 3 seconds faster?
He was 3 seconds faster that lap. Slightly. 3.2 seconds faster to be exact.
3 seconds?
So that puts it in the realm of possibility if he can get past friggin' Bam. This isn't easy.
3 seconds? Okay, no worries. Oh! Revo with another 3-second time penalty. Okay.
6 for him so far.
Alright, so Seb makes the move on Bandcamp. He goes up into third. Bandcamp knows that the battle between himself and Seb is probably over. That's not going to happen. His focus now is to keep the black mass of the Haas behind him as best as he can, but it looks like Potsy's got better ideas as he tries to go up on the outside, but again, Band with the absolute precision placement of the car stops that attack. So Bandcamp still in front. Bandcamp holding forth. Potsy trying his best to get past. It's what have we got? 2 laps to go. Lap 26 and 28. Bandcamp trying to hold on to that 4th position, and Potsy's trying to do everything he can to make it back. As far as anyone else on the grid, Wahid is the only person close within that DRS range. He's currently 0.9 behind the Red Bull of Mikau. But as it stands, the fight to the end is going to be between Potsy and Bandcamp. Will he be able to make it?
Seb, 2.5 seconds faster than Gus that lap. Interval down to 6.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be bloody close.
I'm sorry. If Seb can catch Gus in the 2 laps that we have remaining, what?
Always, you can see him. You saw Gus take that corner just in front of Seb.
Now,
There's not much in it.
Gus has a 3-second time penalty.
Yes, and Seb does not.
Oh damn.
Seb just went.
Seb's going to do this. As Potsy, okay. So not to take away from this, but Potsy did just make the move on Bandcamp. Bandcamp having no choice. But here's the thing. We have 2 laps left to go. So if Bandcamp plays his cards right, he'll be able to sit right behind the Haas and then capitalize on possibly a last lap, pass the DRS zone, and then hold it out to the end. But Seb is actually going to be able to take 2nd place here. That's awesome.
A whole second in first sector.
That is
on the lap.
Awesome, man. I really wish we could see this kind of drive from him throughout the season. His internet has absolutely plagued him, so it's been very unfortunate. He's had a lot of really bad luck with that type of stuff. He pulled off an amazing win at Singapore. Amazing. Not only did he hold off Revo, he did it on softs in the wet.
Under 3 seconds. He's got 2nd place right now.
Right.
If he doesn't get a penalty.
He sets the fastest lap. A 1:36.5. Okay, so without a shadow of a doubt,
4.2 seconds faster that lap than Gus.
That's... Oh my God. So here's the thing. He's not only going to catch Gus just on time. He's probably going to catch him physically.
That's ridiculous. He's going to have last lap DRS on Gus at the way this is going. Gus's tyres are at 65% on the rear. They've got nothing left.
I can't... What a drive, man.
I'm going to say kudos to Gus, though. The strategy looks suicidal, the one-stopper, but...
He is 2nd, though.
It's going to give him a podium. Although he runs wide there, Seb's going to have the run with DRS. He might get it done this lap.
All right, so temporarily jumping up a bit. Here we go. Seb will go up on the right side. And ladies and gentlemen, Seb has managed to overtake Gus on lap 27. So he's still got 1 lap to go. Look, man, hand up, driver of the day, right? That's T1 driver of the day. Seb is blitzing it, man.
Considering he had AI for the first 2 laps, losing 2 spots too.
That's insane. He caught him. He 4 seconds a lap.
Ridiculous games. Absolutely ridiculous.
4 seconds a lap.
What was he? He was 8-9 seconds when he got past Band.
It was a 9-second gap, right?
Yeah. Made it up in 2.5 laps.
And we... Yeah! Like, what? Like, that's the... Like, look, okay, cool. All right, sure. Softs are faster than mediums. But 9 seconds? Like, man, I swear, if this is the type of driving we can expect from him in Season 4, sign me up.
He's out. Lotus.
And it looks like Lotus is retired as well. He's had an incident there, so that's 2 DNFs.
Just in front of the DRS.
All right, so let's have a quick snapshot here. It is the final lap here, lap 28 here at Abu Dhabi. Revo will take the win, no doubt. 24 seconds between him and Seb. He's got a couple of penalties there, but not enough to make up that difference. So he will take the victory here at Abu Dhabi. And Bear goes up on the inside here, coming into turn 8. And he makes it work, but now he will be in a disadvantage. And the fuel light's flashing, so it looks like Potsy's going to have to make this work. You're in the DRS. What will the Haas do? He goes up on the right side. Bandcamp might have made the move too early. Here comes the Haas now.
Phenomenal in the second sector.
There it goes. Haas goes past, so it looks like Potsy in 4th. Bandcamp's going to have to do everything to try and make up the position behind. In my opinion, Band made the move too early, and the Haas has taken this spot. What a great drive here, but the race isn't over yet. So let's have a look. We're moving through the final ends. Wait, does Potsy have a penalty? Oh,
he does have a penalty.
Damn it! Damn it to hell! Okay. So, damn it! Damn it! That's unfair because that was awesome.
Why do you have to be so smooth?
That was awesome. Oh, that is so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. Okay. Still, props to you, Potsy. Bandcamp did an amazing move to make that overtake there on turn 8, but it was way too early. He should have waited, taken the overtake on the second DRS.
Gosh, just 3/10 from jumping.
And he would have
from falling to Band, to be honest. Oh,
yeah,
hell.
and he would have held on to that. But it's an amazing job nonetheless. And I look, props to Potsy. Unfortunately, you had the penalty, so you do get 5th. But that drive at the end, man, that was killer. That was awesome. And congratulations to everybody, obviously, for finishing the race. Unfortunate for Lotus and Flyboy. But to me, my vote for driver of the day goes to the man in second because holy crap, what a drive. For him to come, so he disconnected, got dropped down a ton of, there goes some wings, a couple of positions, and then to make up so much time at the end of the race where he caught Gus. Not based on penalties,
3 seconds on him.
Caught him.
Final lap too, yeah.
And yes,
ridiculous.
Let me just point out, Red Panda, Band 0.3. You are correct. You are correct. 0.3 was the difference in penalty between Gus and Bandcamp. Bandcamp was this close to getting a podium, and I think, personally, if he had held on and overtaken in the second area, he probably would have got it.
Yeah.
But, look, great drive from everyone. Good drive there from Revo, of course. The talent shines through, and he will take the podium. But goddamn, Seb, seriously, that was next level racing. Next level racing.
Strategies viable in that race too.
Yeah.
Which is unusual. Gus's strategy, it didn't exactly gain him anything, but it wasn't a losing strategy either. Still got him that podium. So the one-stop can work onto the mediums. Mikau's weird medium hard still got him as 6th placed.
That's nuts. So there you go. Revo with the 6-second penalties there, but he still managed to get in first. Seb with an amazing drive. That'll put him in the second.
5 spots doing that one-stop strat.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I props to him. Like, seriously, from what chat was saying and from what my perceptions were, I really thought that the hards weren't going to work. But he came 6th. He's in the points. I mean, unfortunate there for Lotus and Flyby. They did DNF. A great drive there from everyone else. Oh, man, what a Tier 1 race. Okay.
Jeez, I wish we could get that race in real life. Holy
shit. I'm going to calm down now. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. I know that we have. Stay tuned, because, of course, Tier 2 will be starting very soon after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you very, very soon.
Phew.